Today we're talking chems. You do not want to miss this one. Today we are discussing the 8 essential chemicals of the pressure washing business. And guys, stay tuned to the very end, because the 8th one on this list, I promise you, like 99% of pros don't even know about this product. It's a Mr. Bubbles top secret chemical. So stay tuned to the very end. So first one on our list today, guys, is your sodium hypochlorite, or more commonly known in the industry as SH, sodium hypochlorite, SH. Now, a couple things to talk about here when we're talking about SH, guys. Number one, let's talk about where to get it, right? This is kind of like one of the first obstacles that you're going to run into in this business, is where to get your SH. What I would do, actually, let's say what I would not do is get it at your Walmart or your Lowe's or your Home Depot. The reason for that being, guys, is that so SH loses its strength over time. And what I noticed is when I began in this business and I was buying my SH at, at Home Depot and Lowe's, the problem with it is you do not know how long that was sitting in a warehouse somewhere before it even reached the store. So when it says 12.5% on the bottle, it's probably more like 10%. So what I would do is I would recommend you guys go to just Google a pool cleaning supply store near you, and I would go get their Pool Shock. Because those stores, their turnaround is a lot quicker, so they're not sitting on product like that. Home Depot and them. You got to remember, it comes from a big warehouse in Georgia somewhere, and God only knows how long it's been sitting on the shelf. So your SH is your foundational chemical, right? And this is very important, guys. What I'm about to say here. It's very important for you to replace that. We use the word chemical in our industry when we talk amongst ourselves, right? But that word has a negative connotation when it comes to customers. So when we're talking to customers, we replace the word chemical with the word solution. And we replace the word bleach with industrial sanitizer. So what that might look like in an actual conversation is you might say to somebody, we use a company solution instead of we use a chemical. We use a company solution. Like, for example, let's say a customer says to you, hey, how do you guys wash a house? You would say we use a company, we lather up the house with a company solution, and then when that solution has killed all the organics living on this wall, your algae and whatnot, then we just rinse it off. So company solution. Now, the word bleach gets replaced with industrial sanitizer. So if a customer, for example, asks you, do you guys use bleach? You will simply say no. However, we do use a industrial sanitizer that its purpose is to kill organics, like the algae and the mildew growing on your wall. So you see, the word chemical becomes solution. The word bleach becomes industrial sanitizer. This will give you more weapons, out there, and for you to look more prepared when talking to customers. So, guys, do not get your SH in Lowe's or Home Depot. Get it at the pool supply, and eventually you want to get to the point, like we stopped using this sort of SH a long time ago, because and we're going to talk about this in great detail here, batch mixing. Here at our shop, we go through roughly 400 gallons of SH per week. So we actually have a company that delivers to our shop. They have they come in a huge tanker, and they have a massive hose, and they dump it straight into our tanks. That's how we do it. But talking about what you guys are doing and how you guys are going to install a system in your company to do this effectively, you're going to find your your local pool store has that really strong 12.5% SH, that's going to work great for you. So the pros in this business, we have two ways in which we mix chemicals. One, it's called batch mixing, which we're going to talk about here in great detail. And then the other way is called metering system or a proportioner. So that's what, for example, that's what I do. Here in my shop, I have a metering system, and I'm going to show you guys a picture of that and all that. But for you guys that are, you know, let's say first 3 years in a business and you're still learning and you're batch mixing and you're not at that level where you have a metering system yet, I will put up on the screen here for you right now. This is what you're looking at here, guys, is an SH batch mixing calculator. And I know the math here looks real sort of fancy, but I promise you, once I explain this to you guys, you're going to see how simple it really is. So you have, essentially here is, you have A divided by B times C is going to give you the strength of your chemical. Let me explain. Okay, so right here, guys, put this SH down here on the floor, out of our way. So we have a calculator here, right? So let's say in the morning you are batch mixing for that day, right? Because that's what batch mixing really is. You're just making the solution that you need in your tank for that day. So let's say, and I'm going to use the example here of a 50-gallon mixing tank because that's what we use and that's what we recommend. I mean, you know, as a new guy, one of the first questions that you might run into is, you know, how big should my sauce tank be? By no means, guys, do not get a 100-gallon tank. If you're using a 100-gallon tank for a sauce tank, you are already goofing up because that is way too much chemical. Because when you're batch mixing, guys, you should only make enough for that day. That's it. If, for example, let's say you're in a business and you're doing this as a side hustle or you're doing it part-time. And let's say on Monday you got 3 houses to do. And you're gonna batch mix for that day what you need. But then let's say you don't have houses again until Thursday, so you say to yourself, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna make chemicals for my whole week. That way on Thursday I already have the chemical. Well, guess what? By Thursday, the chemical that is in that tank is one of two things. It's either inert, it's inactive, completely useless, or the strength of it has already dropped from at least 50 to 75%. So you're going to have to toss that, and you're going to have to make a whole new batch, and you're just wasting money, wasting time, wasting chemicals. You don't want to do that. Guys, what I'm telling you is not something that is I learned theoretically. I mean, I learned this through experience. So please do not make the mistakes that I made. I want you guys to be, you know, my first 3 years, guys, I made so many mistakes, and I would be so much further ahead in my journey if it wasn't for those 3 years. And that's what I want you guys to avoid, the pitfalls that I fell into, right? So we're going to use that example. So let's say if you are using a 100-gallon tank, as quickly as you can possibly do it, switch back to a 50-gallon tank. And here you go with that math, guys. And by the way, that batch mixing calculator that I put up for you guys, take a screenshot of that, save that, print it, maybe put it in your shop or have it on your phone. Eventually you'll memorize it and it'll be super easy. So again, on the actual math there, A. So A is the amount of solution that you're trying to mix or batch. So let's say my tank is dry, my tank is empty, and I want 50 gallons of solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with that number, 50. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that number by the concentration of my chemical. In this case here, you know it's on the bottle. It says 12.5. So we go 50 divided by 12.5 is going to give us a number. That number here is 4. So again, the number we want to batch mix, which is A, divided by the concentration of your chemical, which is B, is going to give us this number 4. And then you're going to multiply this number by the amount you want your strength to be. So in this case here, let's use the example of 4%. So I multiply that times 4, gives me a number 16. What does this number mean? This number means, guys, that if I take 16 gallons of SH and I put it in that empty tank of 50 gallons, and then I fill the tank up with water. So I put 34 gallons of water, 16 gallons of SH, I would essentially be making a 4% solution. Okay? You guys got that? So I'm taking the amount that I'm batch mixing, I'm going to divide that by the concentration of my chemical, in this case 12.5%, and then I'm going to multiply that by the strength that I want my chemical to be. Now, let's use another example here. Let's go, instead of 4%, let's go 5%. So same math here, guys. 50 gallons. So I'm batch mixing 50 gallons divided by 12.5 is going to give me a number 4, the same number. I'm going to multiply that number times 5, gives me 20. So what does that mean? If I take 20 gallons of SH, put it in that tank, and put 30 gallons of water, I just made a 5% solution. Okay, and here you go. This is the ultimate strength is 6%. It's what we call hot sauce. Okay, so 50 divided by 12.5 is going to give me that same number 4 times 6% is 24. And then what the pros in the industry do is they just round that off to 25 because it's easier math. That's where you get that term 50-50 mix from. Okay, which is a 50-50 mix. Some guys refer to it as a 50-50 mix, and some other guys refer to it as a 6% mix. It's the same number. What you're doing is you're putting 25 gallons of SH, 25 gallons of water. That is essentially a 50-50 mix. Of course, in order to complete your mix, you're going to have your surfactants. We're going to talk about that now. But a word of caution here, guys. If you are new, if you're listening to this, and let's say you're a side hustle guy, or you're even thinking about maybe someday opening up a pressure washing business, or you're doing this part-time and you have less than, let's say, 3 years doing it, I would highly recommend you not go, now that you know how to batch mix and you know you have your calculator and you can do whatever strength you want, you do not want to go higher as a new guy, higher than 4%. From my experience when I was new, when I ran with a 4% mix, which was like, I want to say my first year and a half, maybe towards the second season I started to play around more with it, I never had any issues at all. Now, when I started hiring people and we switched to a 5%, I started having some issues with plants. Then towards the third year that I was hiring people, which was right around my 6th season, actually it was towards the end of my 5th season, we switched everybody, all the trucks, everything to a 6%. Man, guys, I mean, no. I mean, you got to be prepared for that. I mean, that's why we had to put systems in place in terms of plant protection, house protection. You'll see in all my videos when we do house washes, we had to cover all the outlets, cover the Verizon box. Guys, at 6%, that hot sauce, you will burn the Verizon box. You can burn down somebody's house, and you will definitely kill plants. So that potted plant that you didn't want to move, dead. That dog water bowl out on the deck that you didn't want to move, guys, like what are we doing? So as a new guy, again, take my advice, please do not use more than a 4%. As you progress on this journey, you'll be able to get to that 5%, 6%. With all the pros in the industry, we all use 6%. But what the pros have that you still don't have is that skill, which comes through time. We're out there, it takes countless years and years and years to hone that craft, to master that craft, right? And on top of that, guys, we have we're using a $30,000-$40,000 a system. So do not. The biggest takeaway from this that I want you to understand is that Don't use more than a 4% until you get a little bit more confident out there. And then also do not use more than a 50-gallon tank. Now here at our shop, we stopped batch mixing, I would say about 6 years ago, I want to say, when we switched to a metering system. I'll put a picture up here, guys, now. So what you're seeing here on the screen, this is, and guys, this is not like some online picture. This is actually the proportion that we have installed here in the shop. As you see there, the brick wall, I actually put anchor bolts. I drilled into the brick and I put anchor bolts there. And the 3 knobs that you see there, guys, for you guys that are new to the industry, the one on the left, that's your water. The one in the middle, that's your soap. And the one on the right, that's your chemical. So anyway, as I was saying, what you're gonna do, what we do actually here with the metering system in the morning, when I prepare all of my trucks, we have 3 trucks that just do downstreaming. They do not have pressure washing capabilities. If you want to see one of those trucks, episode 2, we do a complete walk of the truck. But anyway, so in the morning, what we do as a company, we just, you know, put everything through our proportioner. We have a transfer pump. That pump is going to be at pressuretech.com. The link is down below. We're talking about other chemicals that you're actually going to order from there as well. But the pump we order from Pressure Tech. It's hooked up to our proportioner. So we want that 6%. We put it straight into the trucks. And then the soft washing rigs, the 2-man, 3-man trailer rigs that we have, they have their own proportionals on the truck, so they can mix as they go. So there you have it, guys. That's your SH calculator. That's how all the pros in the industry, we all use this. They all know this math. We all use this math, and it seems a little bit daunting when you're new, but once you've done it about a dozen times, boom, you got it. Now moving right along, in order to this is the surfactant that we use in our house mix. We're going to talk about roof surfactant here in a second. So what is a surfactant? Well, guys, a surfactant is just a real fancy word for soap, because that's all a surfactant is, right? Your guys that, you know, they're not pros, they're using, you know, a lot of Dawn. And you'll see videos online where, you know, guys are telling you to put Dawn in there. I'm throwing this straight in the trash. Guys, do not put Dawn on inside of your SH. And here's the reason why. There's a reason why professionals use industrial grade surfactant. And it's because it's bleach stable. What does that mean? When you put Dawn, or I have another one here that you see videos, I've seen videos online, guys using this, right, as a surfactant. Again, guys, going straight in the trash. Do not use anything but commercial grade surfactants like the professionals. And the reason for that being is, once you put that soap that you buy at your grocery store inside there, in about 2 days, that SH will be dead. That soap will absolutely kill your bleach. And that's why we use, there's actually 2 reasons why professionals use commercial grade surfactants. One, it's because it's bleach stable, okay? And then the other one is because the smell of it. You know, some of the guys like the Eliminator, we order, and all of our surfactants, guys, we order from Russ Johnson. He is Southside Equipment Company. The link is going to be down below, don't worry. That is definitely going to be one of your go-to sources for equipment, hoses, you name it, he's got it. He is one of the titans in the industry, if you will. And we've been getting our soaps from them for, I would say, at least a good 7 years. And they're one of the, I mean, doing business with them is absolutely awesome. I highly recommend. Make sure you pick this up. This is called Snotmonade Cherry Scented. I personally do not like the lemon scented surfactants because to me it's very similar to the smell of bleach. So I've used before your Apple washes, and I've used, I don't know, about 8 or 9 different surfactants. About the only one I haven't used yet is Cody's Southern Draw, but I would, for sure, even without using it, I would recommend that as well. But we strictly use 𝐷𝐸. We're a 𝐷𝐸 company. And I'll give you an example of how awesome this company is, guys. I ordered on, let's say it was Thursday. On Thursday at 10 a.m., I called Russ and I said, hey, Russ, just send me my regular order, because every month we order 25 gallons. But to us, it comes in a 5-gallon bucket, because here at our shop, we have a 50-gallon drum, and then of course that's hooked up to our proportioner. So right now in that drum, we probably have about 35 gallons of 𝐷𝐸 in there. So, but we always keep about 6 or 7 of these jugs around, because you do not want to run out of this stuff. And if you're batch mixing, guys, you want to keep, I would say, at least 3 or 4 of these. Order a box of 4, so 4 gallons, you know, and always, and then when you're down to 1 or 2 gallons, go ahead and order another 4 box. These things, I mean, wow, they're absolutely the best surfactant. I highly recommend 𝐷𝐸. Now let's talk ratio. So your batch mixing, you already got the batch mixing calculator. Now you're going to do your surfactant. There's different ways, different ratios that you can do it. You can go really high in your surfactant. You know, you can go, like, for example, 1 or 1.2 ounces per gallon. And the only reason why we as a company don't do that is because it's a lot of rinsing, it's a lot of soap. We go with 0.8 ounces per gallon. So what does that mean? You get yourself a measuring cup, like a regular cooking measuring cup, okay? I ordered, there's some plastic ones that you order on Amazon for like $3.99. And it has numbers. The cups will have numbers in the inside. So what you're going to do is you're just going to pour this into that cup at about, once it's about 0.8, so not all the way to the top, but when it's right around, right past the 3/4 mark, that's what you're going to put into 10 gallons. So it's, the math is super easy. So like, let's say you're making a 30-gallon tank. You're batch mixing a 30-gallon tank. So you're going to take 3 of those cups. So for every 10 gallons, you're going to put 80% of that cup, of the surfactant cup, in there. So it's just a cup. So you're essentially putting 0.8 ounces per gallon. So in that whole cup, it's going to be almost to the top of the cup, of the measuring cup. Okay, so that's super easy, because remember, guys, you're not going to be batch mixing 1 gallon at a time. You're going to be batch mixing 25 gallons or 30 gallons or 40 gallons or even the 50 gallons. In the case of 50 gallons, you would put 5 of those cups. And again, not all the way up to the top, but 0.8. And here, our metering system, we have it set at 0.5. So like I said, I mean, the reason why we do that, it just helps a little bit in the rinsing. You know, when you're doing 20 jobs a day, I mean, we don't want to be out there rinsing soap all day. But anyway, highly recommend 𝐷𝐸. Link will be down below. Now, moving right along. This is called Cling-On. The link will be down below. This we get at PressureTech.com. I mentioned them earlier when I was talking about our transfer pump. Now, PressureTech is a company, again, highly recommend. We get fittings, we get hoses, we get equipment, chemicals. I mean, they pretty much have it all. This we strictly use for our roof cleaning, okay, roof washing. That's soft washing. Now, you guys that are new to the business, I'll be honest with you, I don't recommend you get into that. You know, I would say first get about, I would say at least a good 500 houses under your belt before you start tackling roofs. You know, master downstreaming first, surface cleaning, concrete cleaning. Definitely get at least 400 or 500 house washes under your belt before you tackle this, because guess what, guys? The only time I've ever lost money in my company was when we were doing roof washing, because it can get complicated and you can damage plants and you can damage things. And with your batch mixing calculator, if you are doing a roof, you're going to do it at 6%. So essentially a 50-50 mix. And then with this surfactant, you're not going to go 0.8 or 1 ounce or even 1 ounce. You're going to go 2 ounces per gallon. So what does that mean? In a 50-gallon tank, you're basically going to put this whole bottle. essentially, because there's 128 ounces in a gallon. But essentially, yeah, you're gonna put this whole bottle inside a 50-gallon tank. Or if I had a 100-gallon tank, I would put basically 2 of these bottles in there. So that's just how we do it. We can even go 3 or 4 depending on the level, the pitch of the roof. But that is your surfactant for your roof. Again, the link will be down below. PressureTech.com, guys. Highly recommend PressureTech. Moving right along, we have one of my favorite products. Also, one of my favorite people in the industry, Cody. Cody owns a company. He's very easy to find on YouTube, very easy to find on the internet. He owns a company called Southeast Southwash. Now, Southeast Southwash, I've been buying stuff from them for years. I mean, I think I bought my very first soft wash wand from them. And what we order from Cody is this right here. Can you see, guys? Best degreaser in the market. Best degreaser. Guys, I got a shocker for you. There's nothing that you can buy inside Home Depot that is going to be used by professionals in the industry. None of that stuff works. That stuff that for driveways, the Rust-Oleum crap, none of that stuff works for taking out oil stains. You need industrial grade, commercial grade stuff. And from Cody, we order about 4 or 5 of these every couple months. We always have, you know, right now I probably have 4, maybe 5 of them here in my warehouse back here. How this works, guys. Well, what we've noticed is how to apply it more effectively. You put it a little bit on the concrete, and then you scrub it a little bit. You know, you just want to agitate it a little bit. Wait about 5 minutes. Put a little bit more. Agitate it. Let it sit. Go do your house wash. When you surface clean, guys, butter. That stuff's gonna come right off. Highly recommend. I will put the link down below to his website. Just call, order through the website. We ordered through the website, and like I said, we order about 4 or 5 gallons every couple months of this stuff. Moving right along, we have your rust removal. F9 bark again, guys. This will be a staple of the industry. We actually get this locally. But Russ or Cody will have his own version. Pretty much, there's tons and tons of places where you can get F9 bark for Russ. And guys, by the way, you have to charge for this stuff. I mean, this stuff is not, rust removal stuff is not cheap. It's expensive. It can be time consuming. I just did a rust removal on a siding, and it actually took me an hour and a half to do. But hey, we charged the woman $3.99 to do it. Like, that is not part of a house wash. A house wash will get rid of your organics. Rust is not organic. You cannot get rid of rust with pressure or a sanitizer like SH, like sodium hypochlorite. You need the strong stuff, because this is oxalic acid in here. It's going to eat that stuff up, and then when you switch to rinse, it's going to come right out. So again, make sure you always have this on hand, F9 bark. Okay? So moving right along, we have also another product from the F9 series, F-Flow. You see this here, guys? F-Flow. And again, Cody's also going to sell this. Russ sells this. Pretty much everywhere where you get supplies from the industry throughout, across the industry, you're going to get this. What this is used for, guys, is it removes calcium deposits from brick and concrete. Now, if you've never seen that before, when you run into it for the first time, you're going to scratch your head. You're not going to know what it is. It looks weird. It looks like snow damage on the brick. And what it is when water passes through the porous parts of the brick and it sits there, it causes this white, almost like evaporated substance. And guess what? It does not come off with pressure, does not come off with SH. But guys, you spray this stuff, boom, it's almost like magic. It foams up right away. When you're coming through rinsing windows, that stuff will be gone. So this is another staple that everybody in the industry, especially like us at Mr. Bubbles, we do a lot of commercial work. you have a tendency to see this more on the commercial side. And the other thing I will say about this is that I think calcium deposits depends a lot on what part of the country you're in. We're in Maryland, so you know, we have really bad winters. So usually in the springtime, when we're coming out of our winters, we're dealing with this a lot because that cold air and cold weather pushes that calcium, you know, from the mortar through the brick, and so it's something that we deal with. Again, I'll leave a link down below where you can get this stuff. I would always keep a gallon or two of this stuff on hand. Now, moving right along. This is actually a little known secret. Let's call it a known secret. This is called LA Awesome. If you've never heard of this before, I actually got this at my Dollar General, dollar store. Pretty much every city in America will have a dollar store nearby, right? And I have here in my shop probably 20, 30 of these sitting around. And what these are, this is a very awesome product. We actually use this for gutter brightening. Yes, for gutter brightening. Now I've had gutter butter and you name it, I've used it, but this stuff works awesome on gutters. And the other thing that we use it for is oxidation, guys, like your shutters, siding. We've used this on mailboxes. We've used it on garage doors. You put this in a pump sprayer, and this is very important, guys. You're going to use a 50-50 mix. Now you know what that means. Like if I'm mixing, for example, 2 gallons, it's going to be a gallon of this, a gallon of water. That's a 50-50 mix. So you put this in a pump sprayer and you hit that wall. You might need to hit it 2 times on that siding. Then you just, no pressure, just with your fan tip, stuff's gonna come right off. I recently, about a week ago, did a gutter brightening job. I just sprayed that stuff. I had my blue soft wash gun with me. Stuff came right out like butter. Like butter. We love this. The link for this will not be down below because you just get this at a dollar store. Okay? And then moving right along here, guys. Both of these products here that you see, they're both the same thing. One is actually for siding, and this one is for concrete. That's all this is. And I don't know if you can see that on there, but this is a graffiti removal. And again, this is a product that we actually buy at a local vendor here. But again, Cody will have this. There's 3 or 2 different vendors that we use online that will sell your graffiti removal. And this is something that, you know, will help you a lot because, man, I've noticed you can charge a good chunk of change for doing graffiti removal. We recently had a customer where I guess it's an ex of a girlfriend came through like at 2 o'clock in the morning and just spray painted all over his siding. Boom, we went out there, we sprayed this right here because one, you see it says on there sensitive. I don't know if you can see that real good, but it says sensitive. So this is for siding. So you want to have a graffiti removal that's for brick and masonry and one that is for siding. So anyway, so I went there, sprayed this, let it sit for about 10 minutes, rinsed it off, sprayed another coat, rinsed it off, and the siding was brand new. I charged the guy $699 to do that. And the reason why I was able to make that, guys, is because I have a knowledge of a chemical that very few people do, right? He was not going to be able to do that. And not everybody, even within the industry itself, know how to remove graffiti from walls. So there you have it, guys. So we went over the SH, we went over the 2 different types of surfactants. You know, you have your house mix surfactant and your roof. We went over the degreaser that you're going to get from Cody. We talked about rust removal, and of course you're going to charge people extra for that. You have your calcium effluent. You can order that from the same place where you get your F9 bark. Oxidation removal with LA Awesome. Your graffiti removal. And finally, guys, this product that I'm going to talk about next. Guys, I guarantee you that 99% of industry professionals throughout the country do not know about this product. I stumbled upon this product about, I want to say about, man, it was either 3 or 4 years ago. And the reason why I stumbled upon it was because we were hired to do a house that had burnt down. And the company that was rebuilding it, they had these terrible black stains. And of course, that's not an organic stain. We could not, there was nothing that we used that worked on it until we got this product. And what it is this right here, guys. We actually order this 5 gallons at a time, but I'll put a link down below where you can get it. I would, if I was you, I would just order a gallon. Like, we go through about 4 of these a year. It's called D-Trick 101. Again, D-Trick 101. So what is the D-Trick 101? So obviously I'm not a chemist, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you what the chemical components of this chemical is. I don't know. But I know this, it's very strong, and it's essentially, think of like F9 bark times 20. It's basically like a rust removal, like on crack, guys. This thing is super strong. To give you an idea, I recently did a roof job where they were thinking about replacing the roof because it had this rust, the worst rust stain I've ever seen in my life. And it was like 40% of this roof had this terrible rust because it came from a pipe that had broken up there on the gutter. And they had multiple experts come out, take a look at it. Nobody knew, nobody could do anything with it. I went out there and I sprayed some F9 bark on it. It knocked it down about maybe 5, maybe 10%. But I mean, it didn't really do anything. So then I went back to the truck and I got my little buddy here. I have a little spray bottle that, you know, one of those spray bottles that you buy at Lowe's. And we have 8 or 9 spray bottles with all the different chemicals in a crate, a milk crate that I got from a grocery store. And I just went up there with this one bottle and I just let it sit for about 10 minutes. I came through with my blue gun, my soft washing gun. Guys, stuff came out like butter. So there you have it, guys. This is the secret. This is one of Mr. Bubbles' big secret that that nobody knows about. D-Trick 101. Make sure you pick up some today. And there you have it, guys. That's all of the... Now, is this like every chemical ever that we use? No, it is not. But this, guys, if you master these 8 chemicals, I promise you that you will build a very solid foundation that will last, you know, years and years and years, that you will be able to build your company. And I always say this in every video, guys. You know, it takes 3 things in order for you to make it, in order for you to thrive and run a successful pressure washing business. Number 1, it takes skill. And that, guys, there's no shortcut to that. That comes from experience. Years of being out in the field, learning, seeing what works and what doesn't work, honing that skill, that craft, in order to become a true master. And then the second thing, guys, is chemical knowledge. You have to... And a lot of this stuff is just trial and error. You get out there, see what works for you in your area. But now you have a very solid foundation of the different type of chemicals. When a pro goes out to look at a job, he says, okay, I can hit it with this. I can hit it with that. Hey, I can knock this out with that. So, and that's where that chemical knowledge is going to be a huge difference maker for you, because it helps you save time, right? You know, once you know how to use the right chemical, guys, the job becomes pretty easy. And finally, guys, you got to have the right equipment. You got to have commercial grade, industrial level, superior equipment. So if you master those 3 things, guys, I promise you, you're going to go up, and up. So thank you very much for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate you for watching this 8 essential chemicals of the pressure washing business video. And also, guys, I highly recommend you watch the next video. Oh man, we did a house wash. We had this crazy, another crazy Karen called the cops on us. So I can't wait to tell you guys about that story. So yeah, anyway, thanks very much for watching this, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.